I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. We're going to draft a Core Set 2020 Best of 3 draft. We like ourselves some sideboarding, but I like myself some Card Kingdom. I have been hammering a lot on their reliability lately. I just keep learning the lessons of my mistakes in thinking I could save a little bit of dollars by on a couple of cases getting cards elsewhere, and then the customer service experience and the expectations failing to be met, and everything just made me so sad that I had forsaken and just not accepted. Go with someone you trust. Go with someone where you know that you're going to get what you expect when that shipment arrives, and that's just Card Kingdom in a nutshell. They stand by their product. They make sure that you get exactly what you asked for as fast as possible. And in the remote case where there's an issue with your order, where something actually might have gone wrong with your order, because they're humans and things can happen, they just resolve it instantly. Their customer service is fantastic. So please go and check out cardkingdom.com for all of your Magic purchasing needs. Now let's jump in. People getting kicked? Well, let's try it. How are your teeth, Zach? All right, here I am with my mouse cursor going way up here, way around these cards, up to this box, way over here. Pattern Matcher looks like maybe the best card here, which is kind of sad. This is a pathetic pack. We're gonna take gems. All right, that was a really bad pack. This one not much better, really. We've got Fenlurker, which I like a lot. We've got I mean, Pulse is fine. We've made Season of Growth work, but it wheels, and if we want to build around this, I want it to wheel. I want to pick it up on the wheel. Gift of Paradise is fine, but not like, it's a lot of good green here, but not great green. I think we just take the Fenlurker, huh? I think Season still wheels, yeah. I don't think I got to the Pattern Matcher part. I said I didn't finish the episode yet. I kind of just finished right where Maria was talking about benchmarking. And that's what got me thinking about that this morning, that was the freshest thing in my head. Well, Maria was right about a lot of things on that episode. She's not right about Pattern Matcher, I guess. Oh, it was in the Crack-a-Pack? I guess I missed it then. All right, taking Lurker. Well, interesting. Second Season of Growth says we could actually take, we can maybe expect those to wheel. Yeah, they're all wrong. I don't know what, like, I mean, it's not just an Arena thing. I'm not, like, it's not like only on Arena do you get 2 copies of your creatures. Yeah, sometimes you agree without really thinking to move the story along. You know what I mean? Corpse Knight to be brave. Well, Black-White worked for us yesterday pretty darn well in the end of it. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. The Shock is just the best card. We should probably just take the Shock. But I do like the Wave Crasher. I think Wave Crasher has some serious potential. Actually, let's do that. I'm going to take the Wave Crasher because I think it's the highest upside. It really does some great work in the right context, and this is early, so we can decide, we can like take this and then keep in mind that one of our options here is to lean into what this card is doing. Hey, and look, it's a Yarok Tribal here apparently. Not anymore, though. I don't think we're taking a red or a blue card here. We could take a Bone Splinters, but we're trying to find the open color right now, not trying to settle into our early picks. So we could take a Spitfire, which as an elemental could go along with Wave Crasher. I don't even know who Yarok is. But Yarok has Fenlurkers and Wave Crashers, so they're into the horrors and the elementals or something. Oh, there's Yarok. What is Yarok? Oh, Yarek's a 3-color card. Got it. Forcing blue to great success. Well, I don't force blue, but I sure lean towards it with things like Wave Crasher. We're not going to take it here. I think we just take Spitfire here. And we see if maybe we can get into red-blue elementals from here, depending on what we see. This is best of 3. We could pick up a Fry. This is a fantastic sideboard card. We could grab a Necromancer to go with our Fenlurker pick. Reduced to Ashes maybe is more generically good removal. Obviously, like Fry is just reduced to Ashes, but only for two of the 5 colors, right? Bo is I've been pretty okay with Bo, but I don't need to take it here. I think we just take this safe reduce. Yes, it is Fry, but I think we actually might even wheel Fry. I'm gonna try and wheel Fry. I'm not going to wheel this Fry, but we probably, or well, maybe we will, but I'm just thinking we take, this is a late Druid. We take Sleep Paralysis, but I kind of like just taking the Druid here. Still looking for open colors, and that's enough of a signal to me to take a flyer on it. We could take mediocre black card, mediocre green card, or colorless card here, basically. Yeah, paralysis was under consideration, but it's pretty clunky and pretty slow and pretty solvable. So, yeah, let's take the tracker. I'd love if we got into elementals or base. Yeah, here we go. Getting into elementals. Portal of Sanctuary could work alongside Wave Crasher to work the nonsense angle, but before we work the nonsense angle, let's get the sense angle going. I do love the portal, but yeah, I want to get that brawler because we can't count on it anymore with these bots. We'll take a Predator on the chance that we have to run in a 6-drop like that. You could do worse, but we hope to not run that. Here we got the seasons coming back. I guess this is the second one. Does this mean let's see. No. Was this in our opening? There were back-to-back seasons, but I can't remember if the first season of growth was in pack 1, pick 1, or pick 2. Either way, I think we take it here. Neither of these are super impressive. Okay, so we may get both of them here. Let's see if we do. Nope, only one. See, that's what I mean. Like, to say you're forcing blue means that you're going to take blue cards absolutely no matter what, and I think that's a little bit silly. Like, I bet Kenji doesn't even truly force blue. I think he just probably leans blue. If Kenji was going to be forcing blue in this draft, I think that's like not correct. But yeah, we'll take Befuddle here. I don't know if we're going to be blue, but I like Befuddle over Bone, I think. That's fine. Sage's Row. We don't want another Rip Scale. We can take a healer on spec in case we really end up so heavily elemental that we want this. But I think Sage's Row with Wave Crasher is more likely to lead to something than healer. Got the bow back. That's nice. And great sideboard card. Manadorks TV, could you speak to the R&D thought process behind why a format would need less efficient versions of cards, for instance, sleep paralysis over claustrophobia? Well, we already think blue is one of the best colors in the format, if not the best color in the format, right? So if they gave us claustrophobia instead of sleep paralysis, it would be even better, right? So it's really just a knob to turn on power level at the common levels. Kind of just want to take this pack and run. Got a lot of blue, a lot of green, but I think we just take the Dungeon Geist and really try and get into blue. The thing is, like, remember, Befuddle's not a big deal, and Sage's Row Denizen isn't a big deal. Like, we are effectively this. I mean, although this isn't a big deal either. I think part of our problem is that the first pack was so darn weak. But given that, I think we should just go for strength. We will take the Geist, hope that it's open, but understand that we may be cut off pretty hard from blue in the final pack. Yeah, we can take Golem to make sure we have a playable, but we'll take the powerful Geists here. It's also gems, although I didn't look. I don't have my tracker open. And here, let me get Deckmaster open as well. And of course, then we get Creeping Trailblazer for the Want-Wans as we try to figure out what to do here. Yeah, we could also just take the Shaman and look to be green, blue, splash the red. Like, let's cut this. But we also may find that we don't play the Geist and we end up red-green elementals, in which case we really want this. Like, Shaman is okay. I'm going to take the Trailblazer on power level. I don't know exactly what our base two pair is yet, but this is so good if we end up base green-red that I'm going to take it. It's just that it's sad because it clearly doesn't go very well with our first pick this pack, but still looking for exactly where we want to be here. Another disappointing pack on that front. We could take a Vial, but that probably wheels to go with a possible Weaponsmith eventually. Take a Bird Grabber, another Reduced to Ashes. Generic Courser here. Yeah, we'd play 2 Reduces. This is kind of like the end of our Reduced to Ashes range, though. Well, we took this blue pick, but we're not getting any blue. Like, we thought we might get a blue hookup here, but we're not. So maybe we're just not playing this Geist, and we just take the Druid, and we really hope to wheel the Smuggler, and we narrow in on the red-green plan here. Robert likes the 3-1. We'll see. I think it will wheel. That often wheels. It no longer... Does it consistently not wheel? Well, we'll see, I guess. I want Druid more than the Smuggler right now. Caves would help us splash some black, but there's not much black you end up wanting to splash in the format, I don't think. We got some elementals. Got an invocation that works with the Season of Growth if we end up playing it. But I think we just take the big guy. Right? It's an elemental. Yeah, 2 druids. Crank it out there. Put them to the test. Plummet, a great sideboard card, and partly why I wanted to be best of 3 is that cards like this are available, but we also have an Aeronaut, which is a perfectly playable aggro 4-drop in red. And I'm just checking our red. Like, if we're not blue, which is looking like we're not, we do have plenty of room at 4. This is probably starting the board. Not playing the Fenlurker, just trying to be realistic about our actual playables here. So this is where we're really at. And I think we want the Aeronaut in this, given what we're seeing here. I'm not into the Spitter. I know Spitter even works with Spitfire and the Trailblazer, but I still just don't think it's good enough to take here over something like this. If we wheel it, I'll consider it, but I'm not taking it over Aeronaut. Here's a Plummet we can grab, but there's also a Thornwood that could backdoor us into blue. You definitely like your Teamer lands when you are in these color pairs. But man, Plummets, this is like B+ sideboard removal. Geist is double blue, so this doesn't get us to Geist level. But yes, if we, it's almost like a hedge towards opening Reef, you know? We'll take the falls and keep it. We still have time to get another Plummet, or to get a Plummet. Here's another aeronaut over a Wolfkin bond. Another bow. I don't know if we're ever bringing in that plan when we could just take a pup here. Fill in our threes a bit. You know, the boring 2 over the pup. I like the pup. Boring 3 over boring 2, I think. It's not great though. If you're not making use of the token making, or you know, it's really just a 2/2 for 3 with some life gain. I don't think I'm ever playing Rage. Maybe I'd bring it in, but I don't think so. So I'm just going to take Vault Progress, actually. Airstrike is not fine. We didn't get any plummets, but keep in mind we do have 2 airstrikes. It doesn't get some of the big annoying flyers, but it's good against some of what we want to take down with that. Take a Vault Progress, but Tectonic Rift has enough utility in best of 3 to take here. Red Elemental, fine. Here's that spitter coming back. This is where I take spitters, and then I try to cut them. Temple of Milady for the gems, or Lavican Brawler or Shock. We don't have unblockability yet. We also don't have much. We have these reduced ashes. We could really use a Shock. We could really use another Brawler. Where are we at on 4s? All right. Probably should just take gems, actually. How are we at? And we have 4 temples, so this is literally 20 gems. Playables are low? Maybe a little. We did wind around with some blue. It's true. All right, because playables are low, I'll take the Brawler. This is free to play. Here, I'll switch this info. That's yesterday's info. I don't usually adjust it until we get to games. And now I have to be super careful. Here I am. I've taken the game client out of focus. It's going to take all of my skill to go back in without accidentally picking something. I'm never going to alt-tab. I'm just not an alt-tabber. It's never going to happen. Give up on getting me to alt-tab. You want gems here over yet another Brawler? All right, this time we'll take gems. And we have 3 planar cleansing, so we're going to go craft one up as well. Ember Cat, nice. I kind of want to go craft one up before I forget, but I want to take the Ember Cat here. All right, this is a lousy pack. We'll go. Oh, what else do we have? Let's check on our other ones too, because I forgot. We have planar cleansing. Didn't we take? Oh, we have Dungeon Geists, and that's our only 2 rares that we've taken so far. Flood of Tears, thank you. Flood of Tears. Oh yeah, I was thinking it was the ley line. Okay, right. Flood of Tears. Flood. All right, we already have 4 of those. We're going to get our gems there automatically. We have, what was the other one? It was Geist. Cool. So we're going to, how many do we have? 3 rares. Great. We're going to craft this up to 4. And then cleansing. Oh, we only have one. Never mind. We'll craft the other one up, but not the cleansing. Huh, I think MTG Tracker maybe lied to me. Tilly is asking why we do this. I'm modeling a way that free-to-play players, especially who care about limited, can convert wildcards into gems. If you leave a draft before it finishes and craft up to 4 copies any of the rares that you've drafted. So, for example, we were one short on Dungeon Geist. So we had 3 Dungeon Geists in our collection. By spending one of our rare wild cards on a 4th Dungeon Geist before the end of the draft, when we get to the end of the draft and they try to add this 5th Dungeon Geist to our collection, the system will give us 20 gems instead. So by leaving a draft and crafting up to 4 copies of a card you're about to finish with a draft, finish a draft with, you will get gems out of it. So if you care about constructed and you care about what wild cards you, what constructed rares you have, you should ignore this. It's not for you. You should actually just use your wild cards on decks you want to make. But if you're in this for limited, this is a way that you can turn these spare wild cards into gems to help you draft more for free. Tilly follows up and says, this is when you already have a few decks to grind for quests. Yeah, I mean, you can grind quests with the pack-in decks. Like, I have never... I will say that early on, when the system did not do this, because this is new, this was not something you could do until the economic update early this year. But the game has been around since before that, and so I built up my grind decks, like my mono red and stuff, before there was a way to extract value out of gems for limited players. Looks like Stratic needs our help. I'm going to leap to Stratic's aid. You all can help me. Here's the link he just posted. Stratic looks like Noxious Grasp, Vampire of the Dire Moon, Lightning Stormkin. Well, let's see. What are the important cards here? He's picked a Loxodon Life Chanter. And the best cards in the pack are the Vampire of the Dire Moon, Chandra's Outrage, Shock, Lavakin Brawler, and Lightning Stormkin. I'd probably just take the Outrage here. And, or you can take the Brawler, but I just love the sheer power of the Chandra's Outrage. I think it is just great removal in the format. Vamp is fine too, but Outrage, man, 4 damage that reaches out at instant speed is just super powerful. I mean, it's double red, so it's no joke there, but... That's where I was doing there. Okay, back to our draft. Trying to not randomly click on stuff. Okay, Ferocious Pup. Well, we're still pretty low on 3s. We can take another Pup, and then Overcome becomes better if we pick up one of those. We have a Thornwood. We could splash Paralysis. Not really what I want to be doing, though. I think we just take the Pup here. It'd be sad-ish. Yeah, this is not great. I mean, pick 5, pack 3. This is where I was really hoping for, nice solid card pick up for our deck. A Spitfires in the pack or something like that. Yeah, we'll take Infuriate. It's just not, I don't love it. It's not the power level I wanted to hear. We should be wheeling things like Infuriate. This is kind of what I was hoping for last pack. So there you go. I'll pretend we got Infuriate here and Holler last pick. There's also Netcaster Spider, but I like Holler. Spider, we are pretty low on our flying defense, though. Keep that in mind. You have a flyer of our own, but you think we're so low on flyers we should take the Spider over the Holler? Maybe. Pretty low on flying defense, it's true. And when I say flying defense, I want something besides our premium removal. Hauler can destroy a lot of the flying, but not... I mean, this spider can trade with air elementals. That's a lot better than what Hauler can accomplish against flyers. So, which one? I'm going to go with the... I think I'll go with the spider because Hauler's so oppressive on the mana. And we have 2 Leafkin Druids. I think we just want to be green. A little more green here. I think if Ember Hauler were 1 in a red, I would have taken it. But it's the double red put me off it. We can pick up another Cliffs. It gives us an out to 2 towards a blue splash. We just don't have anything to splash. I mean, we could play the Wave Crasher, but to what end? What are we bouncing? We could bounce pups with Wave Crasher. It's not very exciting. The 3rd pup isn't that exciting either, though, and I don't know if we're playing Infuriate. There's no... We're pack 3, pick 7. The bots have been updated. We're not getting a Reef. There's just no way. That being said, I don't know if we want a 3rd pup here, so... Like, I can't... Yeah, that's a reasonable angle. Sunset, like... This is... The opportunity cost here is low. It's basically this, and it does allow us to bring in Wave Crasher against enchantment-based removal. So that's reasonable. We'll take the Cliffs. How's our playables now? Because we have a Plummet we could take for the board, or yet another Aeronaut for the main deck, or Infuriate, but we don't want to do that. Let's see, we're effectively at 20. So I think we need to take either a Plummet that we intend to main deck, or 2 bows, a second bow that we intend to double main deck, or Aeronaut, a 3rd Aeronaut. But we have 2 Brawlers as well, and a Tracker, so I'm going to take the Plummet and hope we don't have to main deck it. If Kenji is main decking Plummets these days, maybe that is a sign that that's something I can not be afraid of doing, but it's not where I want to. It's not where I want to be, I don't think. Some Vault progress as we look desperately for just playables here. I guess this is playable. This is not really. Another Rift. Any more playables? Oh, this is ugly, folks. Might have to splash just to make a deck. Maniacal Rage. No, I'm still not playing you. But we did get our 40 gems from that grinding. Yeah, this has been a very lousy draft. We also got pulled in a blue direction as far as late as pack 2, which didn't help with our playable count. So now we have somewhat of a tough spot. We can either... Yeah, I just can't see bringing in the Wave Crasher main, just because we have decent fixing. We can bring in a Predator. I actually think I just like Predator. Lemon flavored tea, I don't even know anymore. It was always part of the plan. And now they don't seem to be talking about it like it's part of the plan, so I don't know. I think we want more forests to ensure that we get our turn 2 druids online. What do you think of this build? Healer because Brawler. I don't think the Brawlers are enough to make the Healer worth playing. Like, Ripscale Predator is not great, but when we do cast it, it's likely to have a reasonable and impactful presence on the board, and a Healer just isn't likely to do that. You want to splash main? I don't. What? Because of a wave crasher though? Like, what are we happy to? What are we so happy to be splashing? Unless you want to put in enough to be able to get the Geist going. Like, I don't know why we're bringing why we're happy to splash this. Yeah, we could main deck a Rift as a, but I'd rather have that in the board, and then we bring in. I kind of like this, but I'll tell you what. I need a little bio break anyway, a little early bio break. So I'm going to go use the restroom, and I'm going to put it like this. And if you think there should be more changes here, you let me know. Also, come up. We need a good name. Wave Crasher is it's a good card if you're actually turning the drawback into a benefit. But if you're not turning the drawback into a benefit, it's not actually a good card. It's actually just a 4/4 for 4 with a drawback, right? The only way it's not a drawback is if we have a Ferocious Pup in play. That's not great. I mean, I guess technically, you know, yeah, we have 2 cards that make Wave Crasher not actively bad because of its drawback. That's not enough, I don't think. Anyway, be right back. Trying to mute. Come on, work with me. Hey gang, what do we think? What do we figure out? Rift for Predator, I don't know about that. What I was thinking about as I was away, though, is the Season of Growth. It only has Infuriate actually activating it. Other than that, we're in it for the Like, here's the cards I really don't like in our deck. We've got a Season of Growth. We've got a Scorch Spitter. I'm not loving the main deck Plummet, but I think we have to just go with it. We could bring in Ringleader, even though, like, we have these two goblins. That's it on goblins. There's a chance we get lucky. I don't want to start with Rage. I just can't do it. We can bring in Rage against decks that are not equipped to deal with it, but it's almost like we could splash blue just because our these are so meh. But there's just not much here. Main decking one Rift is fine though. Season triggers twice on pups, but the scry triggers are just fine. It's the draw a card triggers that I really want. Steven, that's one of the reasons why we picked up a second dual land late, to be able to bring that in, but I want to see those before we turn to that play. Well, James, I just put it in, so you didn't. I think you were right to call that out. Where we are in count 17, so like Scorch Spitter. It does technically work with Trailblazer and Spitfire, but it's so underwhelming. I almost want to leave the season and cut the Spitter. I don't think the Spitter does enough. Let's try this. You come up with a name? Spiteless. What did we take over the Smuggler? I think it was something like Brawler level. I think I want. Let's call it Daggers. Daggers because it was a rough draft. Sir Tammy, don't be a shuffler truther or I'll freaking mute you. Come on, you're too good for that. You have 11 of 16 lands because that's one of the possible draws that was shuffled, right? I get it. And yet, among the billions of games, I think they had said they had a billion games, right? There's a lot of games that happen here. There's nothing wrong with the shuffler. I mean, the thing is, looking for the odds of something after it's happened is cheap. Like, if you want to look at the odds of something happening that way after the fact, of course you can find, you know, ridiculously long shot things that have happened. For example, oh my god, what are the odds that my deck is in this order? Oh my god, this exact order? Can you believe it? Can you believe that my deck is in this order? What are the chances that my deck is in this exact order? It's like astronomical. Well, it has to be in some order. It has to be one of them. Oh my god, what are the odds of no lands in my open? It's one of the chances. I know you're not being that reactionary, Sir Tummy, by the way. I'm representing the average freaking out Magic player, not you specifically. Yeah, but you're also talking about your personal experience again. Like, sorry, we're going to keep this, of course. Let's figure out what we're sending back. Kind of Vorse Claw or Tracker. here leap out at me as the get rid of it's. And I kind of want to ditch the Vorse Claw. I think Tracker, if we can get there, actually helps us recover from the mulligan. So let's get rid of the generic beef. I mean, I guess, Saratemi, like, what is your point exactly, and how are you going to go about proving it? Right now you're sharing some anecdotal frustrations, which you're welcome to do. Magic is frustrating. If you just want to be frustrated with us, we're here for you. But if you want to actually tell me that based on your experience, the arena shuffler's broken, that's where I've got to say, yeah, that's not, no. Come on, man. Come on. Shuffler ain't broken just because something weird has happened to you today. Brad first. That's good. We'll use that sometime. Let's go ahead and do Brawler here. Well, if you want to prove something, Saratemi, you got to start fresh. You don't get to use data you already have in your head or that you think you already have. If you want to start fresh and start gathering the data to prove your point, go ahead. But I don't know what you expect people to do with your personal experience and what to take with that. So we have a pacifism player, so we can consider our blue splash to unlock creatures locked under auras. We'll play this, though. Let's just go Tracker here. Might even be able to track next turn. Get a land. Play a creature. Hey, random MTG player. From a Spain to a Spaniard. Hello. All right, I don't want to insult you, Saratemi. If you feel like you have that data, I mean, you're talking like it's anecdotal, though, right? If you've done something studious and shared it with Wizards, that's one thing. But what I was hearing was someone anecdotally talking about their experiences, so that's where I was at on it. We'll throw Embercat out here. We can start the Dreadwood Tracker, the Brightwood Tracker going. We're gonna probably, actually, maybe we'll. Let's see, if we play the cat, we can still vial and shoot down the warden, so let's do that. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm in the total wrong spot. I'm in draft view. Let's get to here. Many thanks for the reminder. That's cool, Saratemi. Yeah, I don't want to be antagonistic with you. You're obviously a very smart person, which is why hearing anecdotal stuff was a little like, why is Saratemi expressing anecdotal as real evidence? But again, Magic is super frustrating, and we are here for you. If you need to explain to us, or just let us know how you have been worked over by this game of late. I think we're doing okay in the race here, so we'll let that happen. Oh, Fire Elemental is nice. Can even get the Infuriate on top. Do we want to use the Infuriate this turn to take out the Captain? I'm inclined to say no. I just want to play the Fire Elemental. And pass here. And yeah, they're at 20. I'm not in a hurry here. I want to start trying to take advantage of Tracker next turn. Did you ever go to Gen Con? No, I've not been to Gen Con. It's on my bucket list for sure, though. Logan is experiencing extremes of results. I was experiencing some of that, but not in any, again, very anecdotal and nothing that I could pinpoint and say is something specific about this format. Main deck Plummet has a target. Obviously, it's going to have many targets with blue-white. And maybe we could put him to the test here. Thank you for that sub. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana for anything, plus a 7th if we want to spend it on elemental and elemental abilities. We don't have that, so it doesn't really matter to us here. We may want to plummet. But yeah, this is where I kind of just want to sit back and get some tracker value. But we have an attack here. Nah, never mind. We should work the fire elemental while we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. It kind of telegraphs that we've got stuff, but okay. I'm going to telegraph. We have plummet and infuriate. I could just plummet the sprite out of the sky right here, but there's a chance they involve the sprite in a double block. And because of that, I'm going to... They're either going to involve it in a double block or not block with it at all. So I'm not going to bother plummeting right now. Interesting. Let's see. Fencing Ace could pick up a +2/+2, but even then, if it does, it's a trade. So it'd be a 2-for-1 for us if they buff the Fencing Ace. If they Blade Brand it, though, that's probably what this is. This block is screaming Blade Brand, which is unfortunate that we walked into. We can't do anything about that. They get a good play there. We're going to infuriate the cat, though, and at least get our captain, but we lose our elemental here on a very good Blade Brand from Oppo. I guess I should have thought of that. We should be thinking of that when there's double strike out like that. It's in my range to remember to consider that, James, but I really didn't there. I just didn't. But we should always be thinking about Blade Brand and First Strike abilities when they're possible. Because then I would have played around that. I think we would have kept our Fire Elemental back. Yeah, it's true. Maybe we keep it all back. And that, like, if we really expected... If we thought through the Blade Brand angle, I think I just sit back with everything and value the tracker. Blade Brand goes super late, so it's an easy tool for the black player to have. I decided to take the damage from the sprite because they did not pump it, which suggested they were definitely going to do something with blue mana this turn, and didn't know... For 1 mana, I wanted to see if it was something better, and sure enough it is. We're going to take the Warden out here. No 1-drop creatures, so I'm just going to track at the end of turn. We could even attack with the Ember Cat and probably just trades. I don't think they have anything to make this attack terrible. And I will play the land, though. If we had 1-drop creatures, because I took out that spitter, if we had 1-drop creatures, I would activate the tracker on our main phase, but we have nothing we can draw and cast, so I didn't bother. I guess if I kept the Ember Cat back, we maybe had the chance to draw a 2-drop elemental. We could have cast, like, Creeping Trailblazer. But it's fine to get the attack in. Yeah, Steven, that's kind of what I was arriving at. Technically, there were some things, and of course we'll have a Trailblazer on top or whatever, or a Druid, but I think it was worth the damage. Are they just, like, splashing for Blade Brand because they're Fencing Ace deck? There it is. Could have cast it. Funny. Well, let's play both of these, and then the tracker gets even better. But we don't really have attacks, is the thing. Tracker doesn't do anything here. Embercat, yeah, so we're just going to say no attack for now. Yeah, this doesn't look... You know, what are we doing? Oh gosh, this deck. This deck is not impressive. Not impressive. We didn't set par, but it's clearly like a par 1.98. You know, if we hit 2, I think I'll be happy. Well, we got some chumps here to make this not the worst. Do we want to throw anything else in front of an ace? Like, I don't want to lose the tracker. We could put cat and wolf on one of the fencing aces, though, and trade 1 for 1. I think that's worth it. Oh, no, it'd be 2 for 1, wouldn't it? They'd get both of them. Never mind. I don't want to put tracker at risk, so we'll just do the 1. We'll chump 1 and take the rest. What 1 mana thing am I playing around? I don't know what you mean. These have double strike. Just playing around double strike. What? I don't understand. I don't understand what's not understood about double strike. So we're going to use all of our double greens here. Yeah, maybe I should have thrown a Leafkin in the way. That's a good call. Putting myself too vulnerable here and now risking, like, I don't even know how we come out of this. But we're going to look. Hey, Spitfire gets us in the air. I guess we have to do that, right? Or else we're just dead in the air. Sad to put some of the quality creatures we saw down there. And I could also have represented Pump here, but we're just in serious trouble because they still have good attacks in the air. We don't have attacks on the ground. I don't think we see that many white decks, for one thing. Let's go here. This feels like Inspired Charge. We can't really beat an Inspired Charge, so we're not going to play around it. But if I were a betting man, I'd say we're facing off against an Inspired Charge here. Maybe it's just that we're dead because we don't have enough blockers. Yeah, we're just straight dead. All right. That Blade Brand really got us bad. But we can bring in some airstrikes. That's great. That's all right. This is why it's 2 out of 3. We'll get them on the way back here. And then I'm going to cut the stuff I didn't like to be having to include anyway. We'll cut that. Yeah, Rift without flying is bad. Didn't see quite enough action for the bow. I don't know, maybe we could put in the bow for those 1 toughness. Maybe even over the vial, given we have these airstrikes, but the vial proved useful as well. Maybe we just cut one of these fatties. Let's keep both of these and drop one of our big ground creatures. Let's drop, actually, Vorstclaw. Nah, Reduced to Ashes has uses. Like, we're up against a flying army, and we need everything we can against that army. Against flying armies, expensive ground guys are pretty bad. So I like that. Yeah, we didn't get to the Wave Crasher splash. It's clearly a splashable card here. We'll consider it if we get to 3. No, I think you could play it. The 1 pacifism, but it's against a blue deck, so you can suspect that there's probably paralysis in there as well. I think you can make some guesses about the rest of the deck, but certainly if we see additional evidence, we'll take that into account. Wow, this is prone to flood, but it really does have a thing that stops a lot of the cards we saw from them, so I'm going to keep this. But we could remove something, not find a creature, and be super sad. Oh, you want to mull this? I mean, against this opponent, I think our plan is pretty defensive. We have all this removal for flyers. Yeah, I understand wanting to mull this, and we certainly are risking some flood here, but I'm gonna keep. We have it's the bow that really makes me want to keep it. I think the bow is gonna do good work against Oppo. We're going to let him know it's coming, but that's all right. And this is why some wanted to mulligan this hand. It's prone to doing something like this as well. But, you know, we're stacked with answers, so let's see what we can do. I think where we're really in trouble is if they resolve card draw spells and pull away from us on an attrition front, making our 1-for-1 removal look bad. Yeah, well, we could wait for better targets, but I'm just going to use removal for the thing we can remove. I don't know if Ben Stark saves their removal here. It's just that we have more removal back, and this is limited to in what it can get. So I figured get the thing we can get while we can get it, especially given that we have backup. Oppo laughing at our lack of creatures. Pretty funny, Oppo, I got to admit. Now, we won't reduce it yet, but we'll see what they do with it. Maybe they put an enchantment on it or something, and then we do get to the point where we want to reduce it. We're somewhat getting the result here that I'm sure caused some people to want to mulligan our opening hand. This is just one of the ways that our hand could play out that's not the best for us. All right, we got some choices. I think we got to start with dropping the fire elemental, but then do we want to airstrike the blade or the flyer? I think. See, if we go blade, the fencing ace can't really ever get... Yeah, I guess we just... Let's get rid of the blade. The blade allows the fencing ace to attack and prevents the bow from being able to take out either of these 1/1s. So if we take out the blade, the bow becomes really good next turn. So let's do that. If we have to, eventually we can take out the warden with our reduce. What we really want is to untap with a fire elemental that can attack, but it doesn't look like it. There you go. Really want to draw a creature here. Not like this. Well, not quite ready to reduce the fencing ace to ashes, but we can at least plummet the warden. I'm going to give it another turn to find a suitable soldier for the bow to accompany. Come on now. I don't think they're going to play... we don't have to reduce now. I don't think that's true. We have to? What do we have to? Take 6. If we draw a creature next turn, we take 6 before we can kill it. If they do nothing else, we go to 4. I think that's why Fiddles is saying we have to reduce now, just because we're 2 turns away from actually attacking with a bow, effectively. But we do... That is accepting going to 4. But we can... If we don't draw a creature, we'll do it next turn. But I will... Let's see. Yeah, it's fine. We'll do this. No justice for our team. All right, well, we can at least... Had to be a 4-drop. Had to just be out of range from actually being able to do this. Yikes. If we play the aeronaut, it's forced to block the captain anyway, so we just reduce now. Looks like we're going to lose, though. Unfortunate. Because we got to go to 1, and then we need... I guess we can find another creature. We're not dead, dead, dead. Just mostly dead. These are blanks where you can stabilize. Come on, Oppo. Show us blanks. So blanky, isn't it? Yeah, now we're... We took our chances. Took our chances, but that was pretty ugly. It was a loose Princess Bride, yes. I trot that out a lot when we're close to death. That's one of the memes I want Oliver to make me, just getting that scene from Princess Bride. Yeah, trying not to be too upset about that. Our deck's not great, and we didn't draw great, so I don't know what, you know, what there is to be mad about. Nobody did exclamation point punt, and nobody was outraged at our decisions in draft, so we're just kind of doing what Magic is allowing us to do here. Exactly. Hard to punt when you're not given any tough choices whatsoever, but ultimately that's just a reminder that we, the Serenity Prayer, we did everything we could with the things we could control, and we gotta let go of the things we could not. No, it should be, they announced that Best of 1 would be available for the duration of the season once it started. So we'll keep this. Oh man, if the worst thing that happens to me today is that I ran bad at Magic on stream, I'll be elated because I am indeed going back to the DMV for the 4th time to try and solve my daughter's learning permit situation. They're so frustrating. DMV is so frustrating. So everything wrong with bureaucracy. Our third effort was thwarted by us not giving it enough time. So we gave it an hour and a half. There was like an hour and a half between arriving at the DMV and needing to go next door to my daughter's driving school lesson, and an hour and a half wasn't enough. So we waited for an hour and a half, didn't make it to the front of the line, and then had to leave the line. So there you go. You too can go sit in your local DMV for 90 minutes and then leave. You too could do that. Yeah, we don't have appointments here, but it sounds like appointments don't matter anyway. So Trailblazer threatens to be a 3/3, so we get a free attack there. We could send in everything and plan to Infuriate. We certainly don't have anything else to do this turn. I don't know if Infuriating the Denizen is worth it. If they are a Denizen deck, it is, but right now I'm just going to attack with a Trailblazer. And actually just spend 4 to get an extra point of damage here. There is a big difference between like the DMV and a licensing agency. I find that licensing agencies where you go to like renew tabs and whatnot is no problem. Those are fine. It's never a big pain. It's the full DMVs where they're taking photos for licenses and stuff where it gets outrageous. All right, we've got ourselves some options. But this doesn't look like a dedicated mill deck. It just looks like this dude is hanging out. We have Infuriate. But I kind of like elementals, elemental, and then if we draw a land next turn, we have Reduce plus Infuriate, which is a really quite a good combo to have for attacking with an elemental. So let's start by building out our board, and then seeing what we can do next turn. Well, Fnatic Guru, congrats. I wish I could say the same. I sure do. Well, Season of Growth plus Infuriate is interesting here. If we played Season of Growth and sent in with everything, the only bad block is if they managed to block the wolf with the denizen and then Trailblazer on something else such that we have to let the wolf die. And I think with the card draw off Infuriate, that's worth it to me over doing a Reduce the Ashes play here. So I'm going to do that. We're going to play the season and send in with everything. And know that our worst case here is that we lose this wolf to a Sage's Row block, but that we put a lot of pressure and we guarantee ourselves a card draw off the season, and they're also tapped out here. I can live with this. They're taking a 2-for-1 to get rid of our fire elemental. If they have another undead servant in hand, that's too bad because we like could have reduced it to ashes. But I think we have to take our intended line here. Save our Trailblazer and accept that 2-for-1 and hope that they don't undead servant us into oblivion here. I'm okay with that result. I don't know, you didn't like that attack? I thought our worst case was fine. Double Brawler is all right here. They're down to 1 card left. Let's just build out our board. Ooh, Ember Cat. Yeah, will we take Ember Cat? Trouble is, it's a 1 spell only card. It does work with Trailblazer, and it counts as mana towards these other 2, so I guess we keep it. It's kind of like drawing land. And it does help the brawlers, yeah. So we'll see no attacks here. Next turn is kind of weak, but we are hopefully setting up to really overpower them, that our board is going to get wide and big, and hopefully it's just better than what they've got going on here. Yeah, that's certainly a play we could have made, and we made the one where we got a 2-for-1 instead. So I'm okay with that. This is going to be a little bit annoying, but we do have a Ferocious Pup to stop it for 1 turn. And but I'm thinking we could brawl here. No, let's follow. I'm going to follow up on my plan. Let's play the Ember Cat and make sure we have some mana next turn. And do we want to keep that? So we'd have 4. We have 5 plus 6 towards elementals. If we kept the land, we have 7 towards elementals. But there's not a 2-spell turn for 7 mana, so I like burying this land. These lands were earnable by Max winning the side event that they had going, the guild event. Yeah. So here we are with our 6 mana. So we just drop the Claw. They're out of cards. I think... When do we start attacking? I'm going to play just the Vorse Claw here. And keep binning lands. And eventually we're going to reduce this Lich to ashes so that we can get in a big attack. I'm with you, James. Avon's Unhinged lands are my favorite cycle of basic lands. No, we have no Thicket Crasher, no Overcome. We do have a Tectonic Rift, though. That's one of our sudden win type outs. We have 8. We have 1. We still just have 6 mana to spend here. We can do 5 on the Lich, or we can continue building out the board. I think I like just keep building out here. Next turn, I'm ready to reduce an attack here. Oh, we even get to add a... Oh, not if we want to do it all. If we want to attack with the Ember Cat, we can't play the Druid and reduce. Oh, we can't do it anyway, so we only get the reduce. That's fine. Let's reduce an attack. How do we 2-spell? Druid and Aeronaut? Yeah, we could Druid and Aeronaut and set up even more attacks next turn, but I like this play a lot. We definitely attacking with these 4 because they all trade or eat. If we send in the wolf, we're saying, do you want to use one of your 3/3s to eat a wolf and accept the consequences of all these other creatures coming along with it? If we don't, then they get to involve kind of one of these 3/3s in a double block, probably. So I think I'm going to send it. I'm going to send the wolf. I think everything else is so big and threatening that if they want to use one of their 3/3s to eat a wolf, we are okay with that. So see, that's worth it to me. If they want to let our brawler survive just so they can eat a wolf, I think that's great for us. Look at this. Oh, they've got a trick. Boo, is this Befuddle? Blade Brand, there you go. Blade Brand's a strong magic card, but that was a strong attack for us. I like where we're at. Alright, I think we can beat those cards. They gotta come up with something else before I'm too worried. Here we have 6 mana. So we can play both of these. We can play Leafkin Druid first, and then look at attacks. Ooh, I think I like that. So now we have a pump here for 1, 2, 3. So this is threatens to be a 5/5. That's great. I think we can just swing away with all of our relevant attackers again. See what they want to do. Six, right. Counts itself. We seem to be in a strong position. Alright, this deck can find some wins, it seems. Let's see if it can find 2 in the same match. Blue-black control. We didn't see much in the air, really, but we could presume. I don't think... We already have a plummet. I think we just leave the plummet, but I don't want to presume anything more. Did we see anything that gets bows that we like? It's more just like... I guess we saw miscreants, so one assumes they have some miscreants there, but I don't know if we want to bring in bow just for some miscreants. First round was bad draws and a weak deck combining to a pretty straightforward loss. James wonders if I play Commander in my abundant spare time. Not really. I will play Commander, but it's not any kind of focus of mine for Magic. Yeah, is this a run it back situation? I don't see anything that we're really bringing in here. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. Thanks, Fiddles. We'll get that going. Strongest color pair in M20. I really love any of the elemental teamer combinations, but I guess I would say I'm with LSV and Marshall that blue-green is probably actually my favorite place to be, and then trying to splash red from there. We'll keep this. How much money do I get per ad a viewer watches? Not much, honestly. The my primary revenue from this comes from subs, from donations and bits, and from Card Kingdom's sponsorship. And even then, it's I'm trying to advance this from cute money to starting to be real money, and so I'm slowly getting to the point of, okay, we're starting to get some real money here, as opposed to cute money. And believe me, real money just means I'm starting on the way distant horizon, seeing how this could become a career, not like, oh yeah, we got there. Was I still on LR when Marshall quit his job to focus on it full time? I want to say no. I think he made that shift after I left. Well, you can thank Fiddles here. Fiddles is in chat right now. Fiddles made that meme and sent it to me. Yeah, nice plummet target for sure. Might give him a turn to see what they can do with it, though. Let's throw down the Brawler. Although if we throw down the Leafkin Druid, we can plummet and then Vorse Claw next turn. Yeah, I'll do that. Would you say that community and audience engagement plus time invested are the biggest contributors to being successful at streaming? Well, I'll let you know when I'm super successful at streaming, but it seems to me that yeah, audience engagement, especially because if you're a small-time streamer like me, you generally have more bandwidth. Like, I watch the really, really big streamers, and they have stopped interacting with their audiences because the whole thing has become a huge group of people live streaming their watching of somebody, as opposed to this kind of interactive stream, which I think is what makes this this all special. I should have plummeted. Well, let's see. I'm going to hope that they do something. I'm going to let the Sailor hit us and hope that they do something else with their mana this turn that allows us to plummet. Also questioning whether we want a Blood Burglar here because of Blade Brand worries. Although if they have Blade Brand, kind of want to get it out for a Leafkin Druid as opposed to the Vorse Claw. So I am going to block both. I'm kind of expecting one of these to be Blade Branded, which puts us off Vorse Claw for next turn. But we still have Lavakin Brawler, and I would rather them use a Blade Brand on taking out a Leafkin Druid than one of our big dudes. Plus, that means Spectral Sailor will be able to... oh, well, no Blade Brand? All right. Great. But also, oh, man, I guess we got to do it. They get a card, but we're going to do it. Do you see a jump in viewership subs after doing the LR podcast? Yeah, I usually get a little bump that lasts for a little chunk. Yeah, that's actually concerning, isn't it? Why didn't they draw a card there? But the other thing that I've really tried to do to help grow my stream is just consistency of showing up, just setting a schedule and adhering to it. But I'm here every day at 9 a.m. and everybody gets used to it. Yeah, we could play a Brawler to tease that out. Let's do that. Let's tease out a counterspell here. I like that. Robert just doesn't want to play it at all. At least they didn't draw a card. All right, well, I didn't have it last time. I'm assuming this is just more life gain here. And that they can't cast it this time. Can't quite get there for the double spell. All right. Well, they didn't have Blade Brands before. Hopefully this Force Claw is trouble for them. And if Unsummon is their answer, that's actually okay. Yeah, you were on it, Saros. They just revealed their plot before you could chat. Must be nice. Just rip that off the top as we're trying to recover. Must be nice. Now, though, we get double spell. Would I have drawn off Sailor or held for the counter? Good question. I think I would have been hard-pressed not to draw. Just take that free card there. Now we're just going to die to a huge flyer that we can do nothing about, though. So that's our lot. I'm going to attack. Let's see. Vorse Claw could be brought down by a gang block of 3. That's acceptable to me. Yeah, we're not super dead. We just need an answer. Let's see. Let's check our answers. We've got 2 reduced to ashes. We've got 2 reduced to ashes. We also have 2 reduced to ashes. I suppose we have technically Netcaster Spider also saves us, and or Spitfire into Infuriate just barely keeps us alive. Let's do it this way. Oh yeah, Fiddles is right. We also have 2 reduced to ashes. How does that vial change anything? Is there something we can add the damage with that gets there? Like, we don't have a shock even to combo that with. But we do have a means to take care of the ground and give us... I'm going to keep attacking. I guess we don't need to attack. If we... we're so... There's no reason to lose to a removal spell when we're already just desperate to find one answer to the air elemental. Let's give ourselves a chance. Yeah, Vial gets something. We're fine on the ground. It's just all about this air elemental and whether we find an answer off the top. I could attack with Claw, Robert, but then we put ourselves in a spot where we have to, like, chump to a Servant if they remove it. I could attack with a Vorse Claw, but it just doesn't even matter to me right now. I'm going to play super conservatively on the ground as we go for a Hail Mary in the air. We're either going to take control and win or not, and that attack just doesn't even matter. We could kill something now, but if we draw one of our outs, which is reduce, or Spider, we can still fire this off, so there's no need to do it now. And we didn't. So there you go. Well, we had, like, Rift, In fact, I think maybe we should take it out. I think it's good here. Airstrike seems better now, although it's not like it takes out the air elemental, but still, I'm sure there's other targets in there. Maybe just send in one, though. I don't know if I want two. Do we saw an aerialist? Yeah. Maybe we can run two. But then we have a plummet as well. I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, we can combine forces to try and take out the big one. Maybe cut Infuriate. Although Infuriate is one of the few things that actually works with Season of Growth the way we want. Yeah, I think I'm going to go down to one Airstrike. We just didn't find any of our ashes either. They were there, we just didn't find them. Oh, we got to win, right? We're 1-1. Is this right? Or are we in game 2? No, maybe we're still 0-1 and I'm just getting my best of 3 confused. Do we want a match yet? I can't remember now. Alright, keep this. So if best of 3 is better for going optimal and only costs gems, how do you utilize your gold? I still do play best of 1, and basically whenever I have 5,000 gold, we use it for a... We are 1-1. Oh yeah, I think we did. Yeah, okay. All right, 1-1. That's good. So we're on the verge of getting some gems back. Swim down, it's about replacements. What are you going to put in instead? I'm not super thrilled about the Season of Growth, but have you seen our sideboard? Oh no, so we don't have. So we are in matches. We are 0-1, right? Is that true then? Just trying to have our match count be correct. Really unimpressive start for us here. But we can brawl. We can brawl. So we have an interesting spot. They have nothing to gain life with on board. I would like to drop a brawler here and not spend this turn on an airstrike. So I'm going to give Oppo a 1-turn window to gain some life. And if they do, that aerialist gets out of range. But I don't think there's a lot of cards that do that. Like that just in blue-black. Like I guess if they had the lightning helix common, but they're not going to use that on our face or anything. So yeah, tap land would be the rough. Well, that's a couple of cards. I'm gonna risk it. Risking it for the biscuit. Don't do it. Because we actually could have a good shot at racing them anyway, even if they do that. And stuck on land, so not bad for us. They might have a convolute. Let's start with the airstrike to make sure that the flyer dies through the convolute. Negate! Are you serious? All right, you got me. Time to race then. Well, I play Negate and Limited sometimes if Oppo is showing enough reasonable targets. I don't know if their play is correct here against us specifically, but we showed them some spells that they want to counter. Cool. This gives us another elemental, and we can cast it through a convolute. Which it sure seems like they have with the pauses we're seeing and the decisions not to do anything about it. We have seen unsummon as well, though. Blade Brand, unsummon, it's all possible, but we can't stop our plan here. Our plan is attack with brawlers. But if they have Blade Brand, they just drew it because they had opportunities to make this block previously. I'm expecting unsummon here. Befuddle, you say? Okay. Surprised they wouldn't block it with the piranhas and then do that. Maybe they're worried about our possible infuriates or whatnot. I have Deckmaster open. It's saying it's not connected to the server. Let me give it a restart, see if a restart makes it work. Yeah, you're right, Madman Quail. Was a bad read. Unsummon didn't actually make sense there. No, I'm not doing Infuriate for damage in this spot. I'll do Infuriate for damage if we're literally going to win, but not for spec. If Infuriate were some kind of extra damage spell that cost a lot, like for some reason it was doing something and then for 4 mana, then maybe you could consider it, but we can just slip this in whenever. I don't know exactly what Oppo's up to, but if they're not ready, if they're not ready to double block, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're up to though. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Their sequencing here. I snap played that because I'm looking ahead to playing around Convolute again. No, I don't even want to swing with Druid here. I mean, like if our plan is to infuriate for the win, we can do that on the unblocked brawler or like whatever. We don't need to send in the Druid. To give me the most percentage, you probably want to do the donate link, which is gonna give most of your donation directly to me. But the subs are nice. Donating subs is nice, even though Twitch takes a big chunk of those. It's really nice community building to share subs as a supporting maneuver. Like that. Thank you, Fiddles. Hey, it looks like they finally drew a Blade Brand. Now we're in a great spot to win off Infuriate. So we're going to try and do that. All right, it's 11 o'clock. It looks like Magic Wizards of the Coast has fired up their stream for the day, and we got the first host. Thank you, Wizards. And future hello to anybody who stumbles upon us from the Magic Twitch stream. Yeah, you get the one viewer a lot from Magic because it just means they just started it up. No, it is. That's what I was worried about too. Like for at one point I was worried that I was just getting trolled by somebody who had named their stream Magic or whatever, but if you go to twitchtv.magic, we'll be there. Hello. Oh, Wizard though. I see. I thought you were saying you thought it was a spoof. I was afraid of that when I first got hosted by Wizards because like, what? Wizards has one viewer? That doesn't seem right. All right, well, that made it easy. I really should have just put Infuriate on the Aeronaut pre-combat, and then they'd already would have scooped. So, you can punt me for wasting 10 seconds of your life. Not just showing my opponent the win. Alright, well, we picked up one match. And yeah, Deckmaster's not working for me. Is it working on other channels? It could be a spot where I need to get a new update from Deckmaster. Yeah, Dionysus would have punted that. Oh well. I guess I'll just have to accept it. Would I ever go back to work at Wizards, or totally done with that chapter? I would go back to work at Wizards if the opportunity was correct and they wanted to have me fill that role. Try not to burn any bridges. Many bridges. All right, let's see if we can get some gems back. Well, if I go back to work anywhere, I will effectively take you all with me, because my plan is, if I do other full-time work, if the streaming gig doesn't develop into solid full-time work for me, along with the card selling, you can check out my store through the links down below in my panels. I will probably end up back in a corporate job somewhere, but if I do that, I will keep streaming. We'll find evening time to switch to. I probably won't stream every day, but I'll definitely keep streaming. I'm gonna keep this. We don't get going until late with this hand, but I couldn't throw back a mix of mana and spells here. Uh-oh, Oppo curving out, and we are looking pretty weak to a curve out. Tracker is saying he'll be helpful, or she'll be helpful in a couple turns, but we're not there yet. Hey, Oppo, it's on you. What are you full controlling? Why are you full controlling, Oppo? Oh, it's not showing on me here. Yeah, but I can't pass. If there's an hourglass here, it can't be on me. All right. I couldn't pass turn. I could do nothing. Aqua, now, how did you communicate to get a full refund? Well, didn't cost us anything, so no refunds for us anyway. This is really rough. I kept a slightly slow hand, and we got hit with the fastest draw elementals could possibly unload on us. Spitter into Embercat into Scorcher, and we're on the draw? Like, we're screwed. That certainly didn't help. Like, I practically want to scoop now. This is embarrassing. Yeah, I'll play and pass and make them show us something. Maybe, or not make us, make them. But maybe they'll show us something. Little bitter, feeling a little bitter, not gonna even bother. That's not even fair. Really hate losing to a stupid spitter. That card is so bad. I guess we run the bow. They're showing a lot of 1 toughness here. Maybe take out the plummet. They showed black red, which is pretty light on flyers. Healer of the Glade. Are we that defensive here? God. Maybe. Ugh. What do we take out for that? Maybe maybe the Predator. Didn't see anything worth splashing the blue for. It's a pretty bad card. I mean, on average, I'm not saying it's unplayable organic chicken. Maybe it's even fine in Oppo's deck, but I think overall it's a bad card, yeah. It just doesn't mean it's unplayable. This is a ground-based battle. I think I'll keep the Rift. We're on the play here. We just didn't draw. You know, we drew clunky last game. It doesn't mean that we can't turn it around and come back the other direction. I think this is actually a good matchup for the Rift. And if we do, like, if we take it out, like, what are we bringing in? I'm going to keep it in. We're going to win off the Rift. You'll see. All right. These pups are not as ferocious as I'd like, but we'll keep. I'm gonna get Druid out ahead of this season. Again, chicken, I didn't say... it's... Okay. Y'all go play your spitters and have a blast then. I don't know what to tell you. That's fair. I'm a little salty losing to aggro. But... I think they're only situationally good, which is why I have them as kind of in the bad range. I'd love to do some scrying, but I actually just want to... Actually, let's see. If we do pup... If we do pup on 3, we get 3 creatures. Then next turn, we have... If we don't draw a land, we have 4 mana. We play another pup, and then we have 2 more for the growth. I'll pup here. I don't hear... I never heard Chicken say that it was universally good. And he's right that I'm being salty. So let's relax. That's fine. I acknowledge that point, Organic Chicken. I'm being extra harsh on the spitter because I don't like losing to it. But I'm definitely being salty over that card. Okay, what are they up to here? Really seems like, did we see a Blade Brand last game? We need our Leafkin Druid, so we're not going to block there. But I'll put the Wolf on the Blood Burglar, see what they've got. Yeah, that's all right. I didn't mind that at all. Now we can go Pup Season or Pup Druid. Let's go Pup Druid and make sure we get lots of mana going. I mean, that mows down our pups, but they weren't doing much for us, but preventing some damage anyway. We don't have anything really go wide. We're not pumping our team or anything. Well, Peace, that's kind of the lie, though. You're framing it in a way that is a lie, I think. To suggest that the Scorch Spitter is a 2-1 for 1 is incorrect. It's absolutely not. And I think representing it as such is one of the reasons I get a little salty about the card. It's not a 2 for 1. I know, but when you frame it that, I know you know, but you're framing it that way. So if you're framing it that way, I feel the need to address it. Actually, let's go ahead and do this and trade off for the burglar. Now, let's see. We still got our we have 8 total mana, so we can go Season to start, and then we almost have a 2-spell turn after that, but I think we go Season into Netcaster. But not having 2 power is significant. It can do 2 damage for 1 mana, but not having 2 power is incredibly important about that card. We're going to just go ahead and take big stuff, sure. Yeah, some of its upside as a 2-1, as a fake 2-1 for 2 or for 1 is that it can get some damage in even if it's blocked, right? Yeah, it sucks a little bit, but it's fine. We're gonna get it. We'll get our scries. It'll be good. Unfortunately, we're at 8 here, and we need to be at 9 to double spell. And they're stuck on 3. I really want to pressure them, so I'm going to play the fire elemental here. Reduce. Yeah, hard to pass up action removal spell here. We'll just take that. And I don't want to offer the spider for just the Ember Cat, so we'll pass. They're going to hit the spider, but I'm okay with this. We get to just... If it'll let me... Come on, let me click. Are we back to there again? This seems fine to me. Almost odd to me that Oppo did that. Yeah, there is totally a delay, Rocky. It's frustrating when you want to be playing smoothly and quickly and you cannot. All right, we're still on 8 mana, but that's not enough to do anything other than one of these two. I don't know if we're reducing... If we don't reduce the Ember Cat, it gets an attack through the spider again. But that's okay. Let's build out our own attacker. And I'm not blocking, so I'll go ahead and attack. At least not blocking with that, because they're going to equip the bow and ping it. Apparently not. Well, and also, I really don't care about the pups. I'm happy to give up a pup to attack. Like, these pups just don't... They really don't do anything for us. Like, we have no real way to make any use of them except to make our Leafkin Druids better. Still at 9 mana, we cannot double spell, so I'm going to continue to build out our board and save that reduce. Hope we don't get Fenlurkered. That would stink. This is a spot where I don't think we need this healer anymore for our current board state. It makes the Brawler a little better, but not worth leaving on top here, in my opinion, now that we're past the early game. Siegebreaker will be our target for reduce. And that's a nice combo with the Heart Piercer. I'm going to go ahead and save a little life right now with this block. Horse Claw is nice, but I'm going to reduce before this Siegebreaker can untap. And we'll keep racing. We are a little behind in the race for now, but caught up awfully quick. And we got a Vorsclaw coming. Well, we know what our Vorsclaw is going to do, though. It's going to be trading with this Abomination. Hey, Drakir. Glad you made it back. Drakir and I had an epic match the other day. I missed their GG as I was signing off, but it was a great match. We're going to block here. Take 3. Well, we can offer the Brawler for the Abomination. You would take 5 there, huh? Why would you take 5? They were tapped out. What was going to happen by blocking the Ember Cat? We are going to offer the Brawler. If we offer the Brawler and they take it, we can still cast the Vorsclaw off of these. So, yeah, I'm going to send both. I'm going with the biggest thing over the evasive thing. You're tilted by Oppo's weird attacks. I'm happy about them. Unlike Heart Piercer Bow, if you put the mask on a Death Touch creature, the trick works. They don't have any Death Touch anymore, but Just calling that out. So if we attack with the Vorse Claw, they have... they can put Fathom Fleet... They need to put a lot of stuff on to actually kill the Vorse Claw, so we go ahead and attack. I think the most likely result is they chump with the elemental token and fire it at our face. So let's just start with attacking with both. Yeah, we do have, regardless of Vorse Claw, we are kind of threatening. Maybe we even leave that back. Like maybe our Risk of Ruin is actually getting attacked back successfully somehow. Yeah, let's not even bother. I like it. Good point. I think Vorse Claw attacks generally are fine for us, but we should just threaten lethal in the air and see if they can do anything about it. Three blockers is a lot. We probably would have been able to, and also they would have been forced to chump something, so they would lose this. This is fine. And I guess if they're going to move the mask to take out an aeronaut, that's fine with us as well. That's weird. Like, that's what they had to do. They just gave us the game with that play. Oh, no, they got this play. Interesting. All right. Interesting way to survive for a turn. Of course, we're going to flood out. That's how we roll. Definitely attacking now with Aeronaut. And I'm going to attack with the Vorse Claw, given now they have to do that trick again to take out the Aeronaut. And let's make him have one creature left after all is said and done here. Oh, you're going to do that. Okay, great. How many creatures can we get? If we do this, we get two big ones. I think I like that. Take out the Elemental and the Cutthroat. Now if they don't draw something, they need to spend... kill this Aeronaut with both of their masks, which, you know, oh, they get to do this trick again. So they only cost them one creature. It's pretty clever. And we're going to take this 4. Oh, I didn't mean to take... I meant to block there. Hopefully this doesn't cost us. That was a punt, though. We should be at 6. And a useless bow of our own. Great. We'll see if the damage matters, but certainly we should be at 6 here. I'm down for Infuriate top deck for the win. Sounds good to me. Oh, come on, deck. Just help us out a little bit. We got so many scries, but we cannot find what we need. Good playing, Oppo. I think we're going to lose to you, and you played to your outs nicely and found some nice lines with your mask and your Duder. This actually doesn't kill us. Unfortunately, it forces us to chump, so we don't have the top deck. What? Oh, yeah, because they can sack. Right, never mind. Well, this doesn't kill us. This kills us. All right, well, this deck was pretty mediocre. Unhappy about the punt there. Would like to get one draw. I don't know what we could draw here that would have helped us. If we were at 2 life, we'd still be at 1 life. Yeah, I still don't like to punt, but the punt did not change the outcome there. Well, we had another draw to what? Sunset. We have another draw at what? So, never liked to punt, but that wasn't going to save us. All right, 5-0 yesterday, 1-2 no gems today. Magic is a swingy game. Let's go get some packs. I'm not going to do another draft, but we could hop over and play a game or two from the play a match from the draft we started yesterday on the paid account. Let's do that. The missed attack with the Vorse Claw. Wasn't that in the other game, though? When we didn't attack when they were at like 37 or whatever? What Vorse Claw attack made a difference there? I'd have to watch it again. I don't remember that now, Stephen Hacking, but I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't remember.